I don't use them for anything else. They are dedicated snow tires, so now they're even more dedicated snow tires. I don't have a choice. All right, it is officially winter time here. We've been in a drought this winter, and I mean, it's not a bunch of snow, but it's more snow than we've had all winter. So, and this weekend in 2 days is the Flaming Gorge Snow Rally. So, as always, we're last minute preparing for that. In the past, I've ran these 3-rib tractor tires, and they do actually pretty good when the snow is like packed but not icy. And a lot of times the corners on this track are quite icy. So what we're gonna do is, I've got these. My boys helped me organize these, but we've got carriage bolts with washers, lock washers, and bolts. We are going to drill some holes in these tires, install some bolts for traction in off-road capabilities, and see how they do. There's one other guy up there who runs like a motorcycle tire, and he has studs through his, and he does pretty good. So we're gonna do this on the front, and then I think I found a set of chains to put on the rear. I have been just running these mud and snow bias ply tires. We got them siped, and actually they do pretty good. I haven't ran chains in the past, but most of the other guys do run chains. So I want to be able to try to boot, scoot, and boogie around this track and not just one wheel peel. I'm not ready to weld my gears yet, so if I can get pretty equal traction across the back, then I think I can get away without doing that. But today, right now, we're gonna start drilling holes in these tires and installing these bolts. So let's get to it. So first things first, I ran a tape measure around the circumference of this smooth part in between the ridges. We're gonna put bolts on both sides of this ridges alternating. So I ran a tape around here and got the dimensions. I think it was like 28.5. Don't quote me on that. Might have been 38.5. Whatever it was, I calculated it to be, I'm gonna do every 6.5 inches. So I built this little cardboard template. I can put on there and mark hole, line it up, mark hole, go around, and then I'm gonna stagger them offset around the opposite side so they're alternating. We'll see how it goes. I can tell you right now, this is going to be quite the time-consuming little project. The tire is so narrow that I shoved this cap for my welding bottle in there to get my hand in there so I'm not chewing up the sides of my hands, but my thumbs are going to be pretty tired by the time I get these in. I'm wondering if maybe it would help to put all the bolts through while I can look in, and then start the, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a good process at the moment, but It's going to be quite the process, I think. And then I'm scheming with my buddies down at the tire shop to try to figure out the best way to do this. I already have tubes to put in these, but I'm wondering about taking an old tube and cutting. That was way easier to put it in that way. Taking an old tube and cutting it and building kind of a liner in there, and then putting my other tube inside that. But the problem with that is the opening in this tire when you go to put it on the wheel is so tight. I think all that stuff's just going to get bound up. So it'll be interesting to see what we come up with. I thought about maybe just buying a couple boxes of patches and putting a rubber patch over the back side of all these, but that would be pretty time consuming and pretty expensive. So maybe we'll just put a tube in it and run it like it is once we get these tightened down. I don't think that there's... Yeah, my thumb's going to be so tender by the time I get done pushing all those in. Maybe once they're bolted down, it'll be good. And then I was thinking about maybe just going and putting a tack weld on these, because this is what these tires, it's the only time I ever put these tires on this car. So I don't know. Got some sort of process going now, at least. Put in the comments, what do you guys think? Am I crazy for doing this? Do you think it'll help? You think I'll notice a difference? Before I just didn't have, when I'd use my brakes, these tires would just lock up and they wouldn't steer when you're on the brakes. And so you had to, it's a pretty good rodeo in there. You just had to freaking drive it with the back end. But if it got loose on you, or you didn't have traction, because with the open diff, then you're sliding into the berms. So I don't want to be the guy that gets stuck in every corner trying to rally through it. Well, there's one done. Actually really wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. My thumb's definitely going to be sore from pushing them in. I drilled as tight of a hole as I could. I just didn't want there to be extra space and movement. So, but I think that will work. Still trying to decide. I'm probably going to just put a little tack weld on each one, because if those come loose or whatever, then that's pinched tubes and everything. I stacked the washers and didn't leave too much space, because I wanted that nut to be supported, or the bolt to be supported, so that it didn't break off. And then I just tightened them down with this to hopefully not over stress them. So hopefully it'll work. I bought these tires just for this snow race 3 years ago, so it is, I don't use them for anything else. They are dedicated snow tires, so now they're even more dedicated snow tires. I don't have a choice. I can't run them on the highway now, but 15, 20 miles an hour around a snowy field, I think that they're gonna work. So on to the next one. We got one more to do, and then tomorrow we'll get them put on wheels and put on the truck. I got tire chains from a friend, but I don't know if they'll fit these tires. So, and there's a couple cross links that are broke. So we've got to see if these are even close to fitting and see what kind of parts we need to get in order to make them fit or repair them so that we can use them on the back of the truck. Let's see if this one has. That one doesn't have any links broken, so let's try it first. Need to flip it over like that. This is a pain in the butt, but it's way easier than doing it in the snow, stuck on the side of the road. I know that much. Make sure that all of our cross links are good. We just got to check this thing for fit. Yeah. Actually, not too bad. Not too shabby. We'll just have to get some tensioners. And I think we'll be in business. So that's good. Alrighty, we are back out here again the next day to tomorrow, today. And we're gonna do our final preparations on the rat rod for the snow rally today. So we got the tires ready to go. We just got to get hooked onto the trailer, and then we'll load up the rat rod and take tires up to the tire shop and get them swapped out. And then we got to do just a few maintenance things on the rat rod to get it ready to go. So I'm gonna go get the truck hooked onto the trailer, and we'll load up the rat rod and head that way. Alright, we're out here in the shop tonight. Gonna finish buttoning up the last few things on the rat rod before we go up to the snow rally tomorrow. I made a little list here on the board, and I've got some help out here with me tonight. Can you guys guess who it is? Oh, it's my cub. And my boy Rooks. They didn't want to go to bed quite yet, so they came out to help me for a minute before it's bedtime. So we got the heater going. Hopefully it warms up here, and hopefully we can get some stuff done. So my number one priority on this is to get the steering gear centered so that I have equal steering in both directions. When I got into the accident this last summer, I don't know what got tweaked, but I could steer really good to the left and not so good to the right. I ended up making some adjustments and got it to where it was better, but still not equal. And there's some pretty tight corners on this track, so I got to get the steering back centered so that it's good to go and I'm not fighting that. Pretty much what I've decided that I'm going to do is I've unhooked this arm here, and I've got my steering gear set in center, so this has to come back about an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this arm up here and try to bend it back about an inch so that I don't have to rebuild this bar. I don't have any more of these threaded bungs to weld in, or else I'd just rebuild this bar longer. But I don't know exactly where got tweaked, or if it's multiple different places that got tweaked, but that's the best fix that I think I can come up with for the time being. So I've heated that up and bent it to clear the axle when I put these spindles and arms and stuff on this truck when I built it. But anyways, it's gonna get heated up and tweaked just a little bit more. So we got that to do, and then I gotta just tidy up some wire stuff that's hanging down that I don't want snow to get caught up on. I built an air dam underneath the back of the truck to kind of catch air and hopefully direct it up into the radiator more, but it just acts as a giant snow shovel. So I got to take that off, and then it's like top off the fluids and stuff, make sure everything's good to go on that. So anyways, we're gonna get to it. All right, so we pulled the tire off so that we're not gonna get it ruined with the heat. I'm gonna pull this off so I don't melt my heim joint, and then we'll break out the torch and get her heated up.
Smoky.
Trying to get this arm bent back in a little bit.
What? That's right.
Ah!
It's right. Let's find that piece of metal.
Let's turn this wheel back straight.
You want me to get the steering wheel?
A little bit. No, because the steering wheel's not stuck right now. It's pretty straight there.
Take this.
I'll just eyeball this and see.
Stinks.
It's pretty dang close.
I think we need to bend it forward just a smidge.
Okay, for our next trick, Rooks is going to take off the skid plate. So bend down here and look. See these bolts?
Uh-huh.
Make sure you're on it straight. You do it. The bolt's kind of going in on the angle, so you got to match the angle. It's got to come all the way out.
Wow.
There you go. One more. Match the angle of the bolt. Good job. I think that top one needs to come out just a little bit more too. The first one that I did. Okay. Oh, it's not.
It is taking together.
Hold it with two hands if you have to.
Dad, do you have a dust pan or something?
Yeah, weren't you using it?
No, she was in that tiny brush.
Oh, it's over there on the floor by that tire. There you go. Okay. She's off. The snow shovel is out. So it's all bent up and mangled across the front from the last few years doing this, so we might as well just take it off. I don't know as it really does anything for airflow. So that's gone. I'm gonna take my license plate off so I don't ruin it, dragging it through the snow. Alright, I'm gonna take these license plate off because they don't make these anymore. And this one's seen better days, but we still like it. We'll get this pulled off and on to the next.
I'll take it.
Alright, so I have a little bleeder screw here for my electric water pump to bleed the air out of the system, and if you need to put other temperature gauges or whatever in there. It was leaking a little bit, so I pulled that out and put some Teflon on there. I had some wires for the same pump that were kind of hanging down, so I rerouted them, zip tied them in. So we got that done. We're gonna cross that off the list. Cubba, where's your marker? She's got a glove on like Dad. Okay, so we got coolant, wire, rear scoop's done. Working on the steering. I didn't get a chance to go and get some U-bolts to build leaf spring clamps tonight, so maybe hit Cal Ranch first thing in the morning to get those. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Might just wrap some wire or make something up. She got her gloves on,
Daddy,
ready to work.
Purple ones like you.
All I did was put the glove on to keep my thumb from splitting open again. What do you think about this?
No.
No? I think it looks like it's steering pretty good now.
No, it looks like a dummy.
Huh?
It looks like a vampire.
A vampire?
Yeah.
How does it look like a
The
vampire?
wheels are the sharp teeth, and then the eyes is the hood.
Well, that vampire looks like it's gonna steer. So, where's your marker? Where's your marker? Let's cross steering off the list.
No! Oh, no! No!
No! Down, no, down. There you go. Okay,
Yeah, but
steering's crossed off the list. There's the cap for your marker. I think it's bedtime.
No.
So,
I'm staying out here.
you're staying out here? Well, you're gonna stay out here alone.
No, I want you.
Okay, guys, we're getting ready. It's almost ready for the action.
Bedtime.
Time for bedtime, so we can go and play and have fun tomorrow, right?
Bye-bye.
Say bye.